Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. And hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. I would like to remind everyone that, yes, once again, I am dual streaming this to both YouTube and TradingView via two different apps. So do watch on YouTube if you would prefer this in higher quality. Okay, let's get into it. Could this be it? That is the question we are working with at this time. And I'm at the moment saying yes. And I will explain why. And it has to do with the very, very, very macro time frames. We've received a very rare signal, and I'm actually going to go to BLX so we get all the time frames. So what I care about is the following information. Every single period on our 3D wave PM was below 0.4, which honestly is almost unheard of on such high time frames, like for any asset class. Last time we were this close on Bitcoin was right here. And why don't we zoom in on that, shall we? So on the weekly chart, this was the last time we saw this level of compression with bullish weighting. And lo and behold, at this current time, this reading and this reading are almost identical. So I am very convinced we are going to see, Jesus, almost at the all-time high, aren't we? Yeah, so we should see absolutely ridiculous trend. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So, it's insane. Yeah, so if you want to tell your friends and family, this could be the bull run. Hey, this could be the bull run. These two readings are identical, except the new one is a little bit better because it was even more compressed this time around. So, yeah, I think this breakout is an actual breakout. I do think we're going to see a sustained trend here, which is beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Any questions? It's a pretty simple concept. Let's go back to 4-hour chart. All right. So essentially, right now we're just going to look for our mean reversion pivot. We are seeing some re-expansion to the upside, which is fine. We could just dual define these. So we have 2 MR pivots operating here. Let's see, one on the 280 and one on the 50. Okay, so 2 mean reversion pivots. One is from this longer period here. So essentially, I'll just do a trend line. It's this pivot, right? As long as we're above this pivot, we are still in macro level trend for the 4-hour. And we are seeing a short-term mean reversion, which is fine. Because as long as we are completing short-term mean reversion without activating long-term mean reversion, essentially, in colloquial terms, this is known as a bull flag. Okay, this is good. So, our chart is telling us we will need to trade laterally as defined by this blue band here until this period here reverts below the 0.7 value. However, if we go below this pivot during said mean reversion, like so, that would actually activate longer term mean reversion, which would end up killing trend. So As long as we defend this pivot, I would not buy in just yet. We can wait until we actually touch this pivot. It's going to be your best chance at a long. As long as we see this compression complete, and then we could see an upward break. It would be fun. Okay. Now let's check if there's any comments for charts you want me to take a look at that. So I actually looked at every single coin on my entire watch list, like everything. And there wasn't a single coin that would have performed bullishly in the last 2 weeks. Other than, I think, was it ADA? No, it was actually ADX. Bizarre. So that's why there hasn't been a trade call these last 2 weeks. I haven't called anything. And that is a call in and of itself, because there is not a single thing I would have called that would have had a positive return for you. All right. The play here is just to sit in Bitcoin. Okay. Now, is it possible we could see some short-term inversions to the upside here on some of these coins? Yes, sure, and then you have the occasional moonshot, but how do you predict this? You don't. So there's really nothing. So if you want to trade an altcoin right now, make sure you're looking at the Bitcoin chart, not the USD chart. Because if you look at the USD chart or anything, it's essentially just going to show the pair going sideways, right? Or maybe even a little bit up. But the truth of the matter is, the altcoin itself is trending down. And if the altcoin is trending down, oh, look how nice this little 9% gain is. Why don't you take a look at the Bitcoin chart and actually just trade the entire move, right? Oh, I don't really see a point in altcoins right now, unless you're going for a ridiculous move drop like Unibright. Unibright seen absolutely one compression. I think there will be a reversal eventually, but hey, that's a super duper long term hold for me. Unibright must be. That's what I expected it to be. Actually, did the UBT BTC pair actually coming down significantly? I'm assuming it has. Less traffic than I expected. Honestly, this is the least downside I've seen other than ADX on an altcoin, which is fascinating. And at a private lesson the other day, I said, if you ever want to trade an altcoin, you need to make sure that the movement isn't on a one-to-one pattern conversely with Bitcoin, right? Things. What is the word for opposite confluence? I know, but that's what you want. Or, I'm sorry, that's not what you want. If you have opposite confluence, but the USD value just goes sideways, then you don't want to trade the altcoin. You want independent movement from Bitcoin. This is actually independent movement from Bitcoin. Fascinating. Questions. Silver, please. All right, check that. Okay, any questions over here? No. Okay. Any questions over here? HSI. FBTC, if you will, here. I don't know what this is. Index futures. Wow. For a major index, this is first glance, it looks okay. So I'm looking here at the weekly. Just from what I'm seeing, we don't see significant upward trend unless we have all the way PMV value below 0.7 cross. So like this was one example right here. We got significant trend. This is one example. This trend failed. Interesting. And this is another example, but it was bearishly weighted, so we saw downward expansion. And this is one example. We saw our push trend. Not seeing that level of compression just yet. So if you're going to play something here, I guess it's going to be a lower time frame mean reversion pivot. All right. Let's actually go 4 hours, so that's less tapered. And looking at cat rolling, shall we? Oh, I gotta eat. I haven't eaten today. We actually are going to use the 2 hour here. Okay, mean reversion looks fine. It's based on the 140, which is right here at 2536. Right. So your pivot's kind of far away. If we see that, sure, you could long. Okay, FBTC is next. This mean reversion condition doesn't mean anything because it's cloud. 4 hour. This is actually convex expanded. Okay. 4 hour, I guess, yes, technically you do have an MR active. There is a bullish trend to it on the lower time frame, which we could potentially trade. So 15 minutes, see if it gives 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, I guess you could technically buy like right now. Not kidding. And stop loss below the lower local low. Cool. And then I guess you would just put on mean reversion, which would be this target here at 31,279. Okay. Well, that's it for today, folks. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you all Monday, 2:30 p.m. MST. Good one. Ciao.